Hey, I'm Steph and this is my crib. Right team, let's talk about foundations. We can't turn back now. An actual building site, and then we've had delay, and then nothing. Things we've not budgeted for, time we've not allowed for, what's going on, what's happening. Things are moving rapidly. Any chance we can be in by Christmas? Hey my loves, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are new here, my name is Steph. So some of you may remember that Lewis and I moved into a property in 2021. Now we wanted to live there for a year and we wanted to see kind of where the lighting fell, how we fell in love with the house and live in it exactly as it was. Always with the idea of renovating. So we lived there for just over a year and a half before we applied for planning permission, and then we moved out in February of this year to have all of the works done. Now, there have been, I want to say 2 renovation vlogs since February and then just nothing for months. And this video has been very requested because lots of people are like, what's going on? What's happening? Why aren't you living there when you said you're going to be in by October? So hopefully this video answers all of your questions. We have come across delays, issues we couldn't foresee and problems with weather. Whatever you can think of has probably happened over the last 6 to 8 months. We have finally made a lot of progress, enough progress to actually document. So hopefully in this video you will have an insight into why there have been delays and also see some very exciting updates that have happened over the last couple of months. We are still nowhere near close to being ready to move in. However, we have come on leaps and bounds. So I hope you enjoy this video. This is our first ever renovation project. We have made many mistakes up until this point. So if you are thinking about renovating a property or you're in the process of right now, I will hopefully tell you a lot of things within this video not to do and how to do them better. And hindsight's a beautiful thing, right? Like, we've made loads of mistakes, it's been a journey, and hopefully if we ever were to do this again, which God forbid, I'm hoping we're going to be in this house for a very long time, I would know what to do differently. So yeah, enjoy this video and don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Hello, come through. This is going to be the gym. A bit crammed in here. So this is the garage that we're actually converting into a gym. It's a single garage, so it's not the biggest space in the world, but we're going to maximise it with the equipment that we choose. And we're actually splitting the garage into a utility room and into the gym section, only because when we've lived here for the year and a half that we have, we were always drying our clothes and stuff in the living room and it was taking up other parts of the house that we kind of use on a regular basis. So now we'll have a designated area for that. And then in the gym, we've had to raise the floor to match the level of the house, which has been done. This is insulation that's going to go all around it and make it a proper functioning room. But it also means that in the winter when we're actually training in here, that it's not going to be minus 17,000 degrees. And then the attachments that actually open the door are getting removed. This door will not open anymore. But the next person that moves in however many years' time can change it back if they want to. But for us, this is now going to be like a fully fledged functioning room, which is exciting. It's obviously a small space, like it's a home gym. It's not exactly like a full-on David Lloyd, but it's going to be a nice space. Really, and I can't wait for you guys to see what we're going to do with the design element of it. Cool. Do you want to show them what the builders have drawn? Yeah, I do actually. We don't know why, and they're not here to explain, but let me introduce you to this guy. This is actually where our kitchen was, and this is actually where it's now going to come out to. So it's probably a bit windy, you might not be able to hear me, but it's going to double in size pretty much. That's the foundations, which we're hoping to get poured soon. There's been a few issues with the building regulations, but we're fixing that. And then this is all going to be an open plan space and it's all being knocked away. We can't turn back now. In this room, this used to be a boiler room and then there was a really small little ensuite in here. But now we're making this all open plan and it's actually being extended out so that there's going to be another bathroom outside over the kitchen. And then this will eventually be our master with like a nice big wardrobe area, which I'm really excited about. We've not actually started the design for in here yet, so I can't picture what it's going to look like. So here you can see the update in the gym. This is 10 days later and we've had all of the walls boarded and the insulation in. Also the door has been boarded up and we've actually stored the attachments to open the door behind the boarding to save storage space. We've also had the first fixes for electricity and the floor has been risen to the height of the house. And also when you walk through, you can start to get a bit of a feel for our very small but practical utility room. Hello! Today is a very exciting day. A couple of weeks ago in one of my weekly vlogs I alluded to the fact that we were going to a kitchen designer to experience designing a kitchen and use some virtual reality and things like that, which we did do, and I was going to document the entire experience, but we haven't actually gone with that kitchen company now. We've not confirmed a quote with either, but we're just comparing quotes at the moment. So we originally went to view Ren, which was recommended by a friend, and we went there and we looked at the colour schemes, and we know exactly what we want in terms of like a drawn layout. I'll show you actually. Let me show you. So I've actually drawn it on a piece of paper. I have been an avid Pinterest scroller for the last 4 or 5 years. I cannot tell you how long it has been on my vision board to be able to design a dream kitchen. So I have had Pinterest boards saved to within an inch of every tiny detail, whether it's just the floor stones or just the kitchen layout or just the inside of cupboards, whatever it might be. We took it to Ren and there were just a few restrictions. Like, don't get me wrong, they could do everything we wanted on the outside aesthetically, but we were quite restricted to what we could do inside the cupboards, the aesthetic of that. So we got the quote through and they are amazing, don't get me wrong. There's loads of sales on all the time and deals and offers and things like that. I just wanted to compare other quotes. So then we went to Howdens, and Howdens are usually trade only, so luckily our builders have an account with them. And so again, I turned up with this picture and I was like, hello, I know you have all of this amazing technology, but please can I show you this? So I turned up with this and they could do everything that we wanted. So Ren was an amazing experience because you turn up at the showroom and they have loads of things on offer to show you. You can walk around the entire showroom and see different kitchens in situ. You can see colours under different lightings, you can see details, you can see combinations and all of these things. And then you sit and have a design meeting and they build it for you visually so that you can see exactly what it's going to look like. And then you can be taken into a little room and you put on some virtual reality goggles and you get a feel for the actual space that you will have within your plan. So for us, ours isn't actually built yet. We don't actually know what the space feels like. So it was an amazing exercise to put on those virtual reality goggles, to see the space, to see what the kitchen would look like, see how it would flow. And it was a wonderful experience. The person that we spoke to was amazing, so kind, so knowledgeable, gave us some really good points. But the thing that I struggled with was, in terms of kitchen, amazing, but there's some finer details of things that we would quite like within the space. So I wanted to design a dresser that matched the kitchen but didn't look like a kitchen. And then we want to have a cupboard that looks like a cupboard but actually it's a desk. And we were quite restricted with that at Ren just because of what they offer. So I was like, let's get another quote at Howdens. She sent over this design which was amazing, and then there were a few changes that I wanted to go in and see today, so we just had a play around with the kind of final design. But what I love is that on the inside you can have all oak wood interiors with really beautiful drawers, and all of the finishes were there, and there was a little bit more flexibility than we had at Ren, if I'm being honest. We haven't confirmed anything yet, but I can show you kind of the vibe of the aesthetic that we're going for. Oh my god, they've come back. The designs have come back. Let me show you. What I'll do is I'll get a picture of my drawing and you'll see how it's come to life. It is so freaking cool. Like, the whole concept of everything is just amazing. So here is my drawing. So like island, little corner cupboards, table, dresser, that kind of stuff. How amazing is it to see it as like a 3D render? So this is the view from like the back doors. So here, oh my god, I'm obsessed with this. It's like a pantry cupboard with oak interior, butler's sink, and then this is what's really sold it to us. So it's basically just a pantry cupboard that would shut door together, and then you open it and she's put in a shelf that she's made into a desk. Then when this is shut, it's gonna match the kitchen and match the dresser and look like a piece of furniture, and then it's gonna open up and be a frickin' desk. So we're starting to see now how the room will actually feel as a size, which is really exciting. We've had the first fixes done for electricity. The floor has been raised to house level and the insulation has been put in. So now we kind of just need to finish making this a room with plaster and all of the amazing decoration. And then utility room wise, we've had it completely stripped out. We have the wall, the internal wall has been put in. The doorway that leads into the gym has been put in, and we're starting to feel how it's going to look again as an actual room. Hello, so let me fill you in on why there have been so many delays. So the first week of building, all systems go, everything got ripped out, the foundations were dug, building regulations were called out to check the foundations. They said we needed to go deeper, so the builders went deeper, and then nothing. Basically, the ground makeup is not what the architects expected. So there's loads of loose rubble, loose stones, and all of these different things that just weren't supposed to be there. There was also a massive pipe running through the back of our garden, which also was not supposed to be there. So we have been trying for the last, no word of life, 3 weeks to get some answers. The builders moved inside to work on the gym and the utility room, and the outside was just an open shell. Literally an open shell with a massive hole dug all the way around it. And then came the snow and the torrential rain for weeks and weeks and weeks. So at this point we literally had a moat around our house. So the structural engineer that we're working with suggested getting a specialist out to dig down like 6 meters to see if the foundations do go to like solid foundations further down. Let me tell you, it is thousands of pounds to call these people out. It could take them 7 to 10 days to get to the site. 7 to 10 business days. I'm gonna sneeze. Bless me, I'm allergic to this situation. It could take them 7 to 10 business days to get to the house. It could then take them 12 business days in the lab and then 10 business days to get back to us. So it's like a whole month delay on top of the other month delay that we've had, just to find out that we probably would need different foundations anyway. So the foundations that they're suggesting right now are probably the most expensive foundations you can have, called piled foundations. I don't even know what that means. So it's just not ideal really. Things we've not budgeted for, time we've not allowed for, and it's carnage. So messaged the builders today and I just said, please can you arrange someone to come out this week to quote for the piled foundations, and let's just get this thing moving, because it's really frustrating and I wish I had more updates, but I just don't. So I will let you know if and when we get a response, and then let you know the plan of action. Right team, let's talk about foundations. So, what boring chat is this? Basically, 3 months ago, the build started, and then 3 months ago, the build stopped. So basically, they dug out trenches where usually you pour concrete, and then from there, that's the base of your foundations to then build an extension. However, the people that built the houses there before definitely cut some corners because all of the ground was just made up of loose pebbles rather than actual made up ground. So we weren't able to just pour the concrete because it would have been unsafe. Instead, we've had to go down a piled foundation route. Piled foundations are what you frickin' use when you build a skyscraper. We're doing a small tiny extension in a really residential area. Like it makes no sense, but it's what we've had to do. It's the only thing that we could get signed off from the council, legally, all of these things. It's the only thing that we could do, which is really frustrating. But after 3 months, we finally have made progress. So they basically had to dig down. It was really interesting, actually. There was like this massive 15-meter borehole that was taken just to get results of the ground makeup. And then they've basically had to put down these cardboard tubes that go down 8 meters. They drilled it first, put these cardboard tubes, filled the cardboard with cement, and then they go down for 8 meters to keep the ground in place. Then they've built out this massive slab, which is the ground of our extension, and then they've covered it in wires and insulation and all of this stuff, and then poured on the concrete. Not insulation, that goes on top. Then they've poured over the concrete, and that is what happened today. So we went over, and for the first time, one, it was amazing to see a working building site again after months of it just not happening, and two, it was the first time that we could actually get a feel for the space. It's like, oh my god, this is going to be our kitchen, this is going to be where we have all our friends over, this is where we're going to entertain. Like, it was the first time we could actually get a sense of the space, which is so exciting. So for the rest of today, we leave that concrete to set. Don't know what's happening tomorrow. Then Friday, basically, it's all encased in this wooden like cookie cutter. That is not what it's called, but basically it's just been left in these wooden walls, and then they get removed on Friday. And then from Monday, our original builders, because we had to outsource for all of this work to a different company, the original builders come back on Monday and they start building the walls and the extension, and we finally get moving again. I turned to Les, our main builder, today, and I was like, any chance we can be in by Christmas? And he was like, haha, no. So that's a bit annoying, but hopefully we will be in sooner rather than later. And everyone's saying that when they start on the bricks, they fly up. I'm hoping that by the end of next week, I might actually have something to show you in terms of like the actual walls of the extension, which would just be stunning. So we went over also to our neighbours and just like apologised. It's been hassle. It's been 3 months of nothing and then a week and a half of go, 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 go. So yeah, we're finally getting moving. I've messaged our interior designer today to be like, okay, what do we need to do next? What do we need to get ready? And progress is happening. So the positive mindset is back. The minute I have another update for you guys, I will check in. So I'll speak to you hopefully very, very soon.
What's interesting is where they put it.
So we have some very exciting news, and this is probably the first major shift other than the piled foundations since February. So as you know, we had the entire back of the house ripped out in February, and then we've had delay. Piled foundations went in at the start of last month, and then we had to redesign the steelworks to match the new piled foundations because we no longer needed a base steel frame. So originally, in the original drawings, it was kind of more like a television screen, so top and bottom steel, side steel, side steel. Whereas now we have so much concrete in this slab, like there is no way this extension is going anywhere. So the base steel is to stop the sides from doing this. But that won't happen now that we have that ginormous concrete slab in the way. So we've had a new structural engineer come out to draw just the goalpost stills and do all of the calculations for that. He came back and basically said that we needed some pad stones underneath the side steels, which are basically like squares of concrete. I hope I'm talking about this correctly. Like, I feel like Bob the Builder, but I could be saying absolutely everything wrong. But anyway, the pad stones have been done. The steel work is in place. Like, we are ready to go now. Like, now the steels are in, they put pins in through the bricks to hold the remainder of the house in place. The steels are in, which means from next week onwards they can start to build the shell of the extension. And I think they said that in 3 to 4 weeks time all of the first floor story extension shell will be done. So they said it's really going to fly up from now. Like, the hard stuff is out the way, especially, it looks like I've got food in my mouth, by the way. It's just a spot that I picked, so just ignore that, okay? If you didn't see it, then haha, but if you did, just ignore it. Anyway, so then I'm going to go over now to see the steels in place. I'm really excited because I'm also going to get a chance to stand in the space and actually get a sense of what it's going to feel like. And then from next week, they're literally it's going to fly up. And I feel like this week is also the first time that the excitement has returned. There's been so much stress throughout this whole process and so much uncertainty, whereas this week we got a move-in date, a rough move-in date. We got updates of what's happening next. We have progress, like now the wheels are turning again and we're allowing ourselves to be excited, whereas before there was just so much uncertainty. So I hope you've enjoyed this update, and hopefully the next one will be showing you around the shell of the extension and you can actually get a feel for the space. And also we've got a feel for what our garden's going to be like, because I thought our garden was going to be so tiny and like a little bit pointless. We're still going to have a nice garden, which means we can have those sliding doors open in the summer, have people around for barbecues, and yeah, really excited. So here is some footage from when we first went to see the steelworks, and you can see the goalpost steels. Then at the start of September we started to see the upstairs extension coming to life, so the bricks have been laid up there. The roof hasn't been finished yet, but you can still get kind of a feel for the inside of this space. And then the exciting part is 3 weeks later the shell of the downstairs extension started to be built, so the outside bricks were beginning to be laid and the inside bricks, and then there'll be insulation in between those, which you will see later in this video. Hello, excuse the state of me. I've spent all morning on the go planning lots of house related things. So we had a meeting at Howden's this morning. I took my mum because I cannot be trusted to make my own decisions. So we went in today, and obviously we've had all of these nightmares with the foundations, which have been an absolute nightmare. We've paid more, there's been delays, and we don't have a bottomless pit of money. And I feel like no one talks about this. Everyone talks about their dream home and their finished home, but no one talks about how you have to then re-budget things when things go wrong. And we'd gone in and we'd gone to Howden's and we loved the service that they provided us. us, and we chose like quite top end range models for the kitchen. Anyway, I said to her, I was like, look, here's the situation. We have paid over so much, like what can we do to reduce the costs of this kitchen? And she basically was like, oh, we'll just drop down to the middle range instead of the high range. And I was like, yeah, but is it going to feel different? Is it going to look different? And she showed us the two different models side by side. We saw a makeup of it in like their tiny little showroom at the front of the store. We felt them, we saw the colours. There was like hardly any difference, but quite a big price implication in between both. So I was like, yeah, okay, let's do that. And then we spoke about other ways, like in the utility room we rejigged things a little bit to suit the plumbing on the left hand side. That's brought costs down. So just doing things like that, like working with someone that you really trust. Like she wasn't there because they work mostly on trade, like she wasn't trying to oversell us anything. She was being really respectful and like giving us such amazing alternatives for absolutely everything. I'm really, really happy with how that went. We have saved, I want to say like 15-20% on the entire quote. We're going to receive our final, we made like a few different design changes, and we'll receive our final quote and also the 3D kind of mock-up of it later today, I think. I believe we're placing an order for the kitchen either this week or next week, which is terrifying but also very exciting that we're moving along. So yeah, all in all, positive decisions have been made. And I think there was part of me that was like, oh, I feel a bit embarrassed going into Howdens and saying we need a cheaper range. She was so understanding. She was like, it happens all the time. And I was like, really? And she was like, you'll be surprised. She was like, it happens all the time because everyone budgets for something and it takes longer and it costs more than everyone kind of expects it to. So yeah, it was really nice. She was really nice. And just overall a very enjoyable experience, and I feel a lot more at peace and calm with everything now we've made those changes. Good morning, how are we doing? I'm just waiting for Lou to come in the car so I could be a passenger princess. But we're heading over to the house. Loads has been done. So we were away last week for Lewis's race and we've not been back to the house in about 8 days. And I think in that time more of the extension has flown up, more of the ensuite bathroom upstairs has flown up, and we're going over there to see all of the updates but also to meet with the electrician to speak through electrical points. You okay? And then today we are actually buying our kitchen. So I think we're on our ninth rendition of design. I was speaking to our designer earlier and she was like, yeah, you've done 9. So we're finally saying yes to the one that we've set our minds to, and we're going to go and pay for that later. So we're going to head over to the house now, show you the updates, and then head on over to Howdens. So this is going to be our ensuite bathroom. We're going to try and keep the ceiling pitched so that when you walk through it feels like open and big. There's going to be like a his and hers sink here. We need to work out where the toilet's going to go because that window's a little bit lower than we were expecting, but then there's going to be like a shower area.
This feels like a welcome to my crib video.
Hey, I'm Steph and this is my crib. Right team, it's been a very positive morning. So I've just got back, we have officially ordered our kitchen. I went into Howdens and I spoke with Hannah, our designer. I also saw for the last time the inside of the pantry in person. I wish I filmed it but I got shy. In person, this is the kind of style that we're having inside all of our cupboards. So that is ready to get delivered to storage. So we're capitalising off of the Howdens sale, and it's cheaper to order it now and put it in storage until we're ready to install it rather than waiting until we're ready to install it and then it being more expensive. We went over and we met with the electrician and we spoke about everything that we wanted in terms of lighting, sound system, all of those kind of things. And they'll be starting with first fixes upstairs in a couple of weeks. The upstairs bedroom and ensuite will be airtight by the end of next week. And then downstairs next week we have a meeting with the glazing company, and then that will be airtight by hopefully the end of the month. Things are moving rapidly and I'm going to have loads more updates for you soon. So I'm going to go now and I will check in with you probably next week when there's more exciting things happening. The scaffolding will be down, you'll see a view of the back of the house, get a feel for the inside space. Hello, and how are we? The date is, I don't know if I've been checking in dates up until this point, but it's Sunday the 26th of November, and isn't it? Considering we started this renovation in February and we haven't had many updates for you, that is quite scary. But we are in the car because today we are going Black Friday shopping for a sofa. We're looking for blessings everywhere we can. And obviously we were supposed to be in by October, but us not being in by October means that we can try and capitalise off of some of the sales, whether it's Black Friday or Christmas or January, Boxing Day, whatever it might be. So we have an idea of what sofa we would like. We've had our living room interior designed and we've had all the 3D images for that, which you will see in the next vlog. And we know kind of what style we're looking for, but for us, a sofa is where we want to sit, snuggle, cozy up, relax. And so it's got to look nice, but feeling nice and being comfortable is the absolute priority. So although we've seen so many lovely sofas online, we actually want to sit in some and see if it gives our butts a cuddle.
take that.
But unless it's going to allow us to have a Sunday afternoon nap, we do not want it. So our last sofa was like quite rough and quite hard, and every time we sat down it was like doosh. So this time we wanted to sit down and it'd be more like a
Yeah.
Do you think?
Yeah, we definitely couldn't relax in the last one.
We couldn't relax in the last one, and the way that our layout is going to be in our sofa area, like in our living room, in our living room, the way it's going to be laid out is 2 sofas facing each other, because again we want this to be a social space as well as like a snuggly one, whereas last time we had 1 sofa and like a beanbag chair, and it just meant if we had people over, it wasn't really a space that we could sit and relax, was it?
No.
Or like chill. You're a bit worried it's going to look like a therapist's room.
Yeah. You can understand why though.
Yeah, I can understand why. But I think once we've got the sofas, we can always move things around, you know what I mean? It's not like we're gluing them to the floor.
No, exactly.
So we're going to go there today. Our friends Christy and Ben have this sofa that we have sat on many times, and it is the comfiest sofa I think I've ever used, and it's from a brand called Barker and Stonehouse. So we're going to drive to one of their showrooms today just to have a look. I think I know the kind of style we're after, but we're going to look at colours, look at feels, and see what their delivery times are and all of that kind of stuff. In terms of thinking about the internals and ordering things like that, like our kitchen is now ordered, starting to think about the fun stuff is almost igniting that excitement within us again for the entire project, isn't it? So I'm hoping that we leave today having found a sofa, feeling very excited for the updates coming this week, and hopefully now the countdown is on until we're like back in the house. Let's go. Right, we are back in the car. So, bearing in mind, we only went, this is the first sofa shop we've been to. We went to look, and only look. And what did we do?
We spent a lot of money.
we bought 2 sofas. So, we kind of knew exactly what we wanted in terms of the shape, design and colour. We'd seen it on the website, we were very keen, and all we had to do was sit on it. The moment we sat down, both of us were like, yes, immediately yes. Like it was everything we wanted, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And then they had samples of all the fabrics and stuff. They were so soft, I could not even cope. Like they were just so soft. We spoke to the guy Julian, who was so helpful, and he was like, go upstairs, look at beds, and then come back down and we can put it all through. So we went upstairs, and again we were looking for our master bedroom. Like we want an ottoman bed. Didn't know exactly what size, which was because we weren't expecting to buy anything today. Found one that we kind of like. Anyway, we found the perfect bed for our spare bedroom. So one of our bedrooms, we kind of want to do a nod to the green that is already in our existing house that we've ripped out, and we found the perfect bed for that. So we put a deposit down for that. We're going to run it past the designer to make sure she's happy with it, and then we went downstairs and we bought our 2 sofas. I'm not going to tell you what they are in this vlog, but in the next vlog hopefully it will be like the delivery of those, and the delivery times for the sofas are the exact dates that we're hopefully moving back into the house anyway, which is extremely exciting. And I'd say that was a success, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
It's made me look forward to moving in again, because I think there's been so much turbulence throughout everything that we'd lost a bit of that buzz.
At least we know we'll move in now, even if it's a shit tip. We've got to do something.
And that's the thing that we didn't have for ages when we moved in the first time. Do you remember?
Yeah. Priorities, right?
Yeah.
Sofas.
Right team, today's a big day. So I have made a spreadsheet of absolutely everything that we need throughout the house. Our interior designer has designed every single room and made a list of options for everything. So we've been sent 3D designs of everything, and she said here's an option for a fireplace, or here's another option for a fireplace, or here's an option for shelving, and here's an alternative option, and basically then we could decide which options we wanted. Thank you so much. I've got a little do you want to come say hello? It is about our house. I feel like you've not been in the vlogs much, considering it's both of our houses.
Hey
Anyway, so then she sent through a whole list. So then we made our, we made our selects a couple of weeks ago, and I made a spreadsheet of everything with links, prices, how many we need of each, and the delivery times, yada, yada, yada. I've then been holding on to Black Friday sales and Cyber Monday sales, and have been checking that list religiously for the week before Black Friday and the week after Black Friday for any deals on any way that we can possibly save. Basically everything is just eating our money right now, so anywhere we can save we really, really need to. So even just looking for alternatives of the same thing that are slightly cheaper, like we managed to find our dining room chairs for, I want to say like £30 cheaper per chair, and when you're having 8 that's a big difference, do you know what I mean? All of Cyber Week I've been looking at deals, and I'll be honest, most of the things that we want aren't in the sale. Oh, I'm actually getting a call from my builder right now. One sec, I will check in with you in a second. Right, it's all systems go. So where were we? I can't remember. Anyway, so I've basically been looking at the sales on and on and on and on to make sure, see if there's any reductions. Most of our things are like new stock, so nothing is being reduced. Like I even went on the chat of one website and I was like, hey, I can't see your Black Friday deals on this item, and they're like, that's because it's not in the sale. And I was like, oh, okay then. So as of yesterday, we ordered, did I tell you about ordering the tiles on sale? Because I got an absolute bargain with tiles. We basically knew what tiles we wanted for the bathroom floor, the bathroom walls, and then the downstairs bathroom. So I went on, we had someone on site do all the measurements for the square footage of what we needed, and then calculated it all, ordered the tiles. We saved so much money on tiles because of the discounts, which was amazing. And then the other piece of amazing news, we got a piece of bad news yesterday. Basically tomorrow we are supposed to have our sliding doors fitted for the back of the extension, as well as the 2 lantern skylights. However, the roof is now not ready because we have had torrential rain for weeks and weeks on end. The roof is basically just not ready for the skylights to be fitted. We are now just fitting the sliding doors tomorrow and then the lanterns next week. We did have someone from Building Regs come over and basically say that the way that we've built the upstairs is wrong, which is a load of bullshit. So I am going to sort that this weekend as well, but I'll probably update you more about that in the next vlog because there's more to show you in the next vlog. So I'm going to leave it there for now. I will see you tomorrow. Good morning! We are going over to the house and the doors should be arriving within the next half an hour, and they are going to be installed on the back of the house, which means we are one step closer to getting it airtight and watertight before the Christmas weather arrives. Get dressed now, it is quite frosty outside, so I'm going to wrap up super warm and then we're going to head over and watch them be fitted. So the doors that we're actually using are from a company called Beautiful Bifolds, so their team came over in the morning to fit the doors, and then oh my god, they were amazing. The team was so great, and these are the 20mm sliding doors that were made to measure for our space. We wanted 3 panels and they slide all the way left or all the way right, and for the first time when we walked into that space it finally felt like our future kitchen. And then we went back the next day when it wasn't dark and when the workmen went in there so we could actually see the doors for ourselves. It's a little bit steamy because the team are having to dry the property inside because there's a lot of timber in there and a lot of water has been in there up until this point because it wasn't watertight. But anyway, oh my god, I was so excited. Like, they just look amazing. They slide really easily, slide really well, and I'll be honest, this was just a massive pinch me moment, and Lou and I were absolutely buzzing. So I've just got back from the house. For the first time from the outside garden we could see the extension come to life, which was just incredible, and it just looks like a completely different house, but also looks like it has always been that way. It looks as if like the bricks are such a perfect match, and it looks like it's always supposed to have been there, which is just amazing. And then I went into the actual extension, and because of security reasons we've had half of the extension boarded off for the whole time that the works have been going on, just so that no one can get into the main property itself and everything like that. Anyway, for the first time all of that had been removed, and I was just stood in that space looking at these sliding doors from the inside out, just thinking, oh my god, the space that we have to play with, to entertain with, where we're gonna have our families over for Christmas, like this. It was just the most surreal experience, and I actually walked from inside the house all the way to the back door, and I was just like, this just feels how it was always supposed to feel and how we always dreamed of it ever since we first viewed the house and spoke about what we'd love to do with it. It was just a very exciting day. I'm actually going to leave the vlog there for today, and hopefully next time we check in I will show you the skylights, the lanterns being installed, all of the lighting started having first fixes today. Hopefully we'll also have updates showing you more of the lighting fixtures and the tiling that's going to be done relatively soon, the the ensuite bathroom being finished. We should hopefully get sign off of the roof from building control next week, and then we can start really making that room something pretty special. I will check in with you guys again soon. If you have enjoyed this video, please let me know. And if you have any questions, I most definitely do not have all of the answers, but we have a whole team of people that are currently helping us with the build that I can ask. So if you're doing a renovation yourself, like, I'm more than happy to kind of put that to my builders, or if you have any questions about choices and how we've made the choices that we have made, please leave me a comment and let me know, because we are very much learning as we go with this, and I was so lost when we first started this renovation. I had no idea what to do, where to start. So if I can help anyone watching, that would be, yeah, I would just love to. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Renovation Diaries, and I'll be checking in again very, very soon. Lots of love. Bye.